was told to do right. Stick her by my side if they wanna test my life. Yeah, street kid, I was trapping long nights on the weekend. Shorty on me, how our body beats and bury every track. I'm a beast and that's a fact. Put the city on the map. I might have to cop a quarter, that's for sure, then double back. Just a monster with a strap, so there ain't no coming back. All that shit that you be rapping about ain't true, what's up with that? And I was just a youngin' waking up inside the trap. Really wasn't born to shoot, but if they shootin' back. Cause some brothers really dying and a few ain't coming back. I just wanna make it out of the position where I'm at, yeah. All my life I was told to do right. Stick her by my side if they wanna test my life. Yeah, street kid, I was trapping long nights on the week.
That's the love of the leprechaun right there.
I like this, thank you. But I'm serious, do they really live in Uganda? They're there?
They're real.
Really?
Real. It's like clothes in Norway. Vikings.
Short people like that?
Yeah.
They still exist?
All my life I was told to do.
Hey yo, what do you say, what do you know? It's your boy Blue Eyes, welcome to the show. Today I'm with CMB Luke and we're talking mind, body, and soul.
Yes, sir. I'm your boy, Bobby Lucas, B. Luke, Cambridge, Mass. So pretty much, you already know my thing is hashtag built for a TV, right?
Yep.
So that's about being mentally, emotionally, and physically like prepared at all times for stuff.
Yep.
Mentally ready to deal with life on life's terms, right? Because life is not easy for nobody.
For sure.
So it's about mentally being ready, being motivated, being
Yep.
ready to go, being ready to just conquer whatever fears you got. And physically, obviously, being in shape, just for functional fitness too. You never know when you're gonna need that. You never, if a grown ass man can't do a pull up and is hanging from a cliff, and you can't pull yourself up that cliff to save your life.
If you can't save yourself,
I don't know.
you can't save nobody else neither.
That's weakness to me. You know what I mean? And I'm big on the mindset, right? Changing the mindset, going from the negative lifestyle that we used to live and all that.
Definitely.
The negative mindset. The mindset is where everything begins, sure, but to get the mindset right, to me, get the mindset right for me is more about being physically fit. Definitely helps, right?
Definitely.
Working out, bro, just because working out an hour a day, putting your body through that type of pain, putting your body through that type of what most
conditioning.
Torture almost. It's not easy, especially when you're squeezing on those last couple reps. But if you can make it through those tough moments and those tough instances.
Hey, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war.
I like that.
The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So you might not have no malicious intent, but you want to be ready for whatever. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst type of thing. And a lot of people concentrate on the fitness and the working out, which is crucial. It's important. But it's just as important to work on your mind and your soul as much as the body. So, manifestation, positive thinking, it all plays a part,
Absolutely.
If I got a day where I can't go hit the gym, I might just take a walk in the sun, hit the beach, get some sun, sand, water, the elements, and just take my dog for a walk. It's the little things. You don't got to be a beast. You don't got to hit the gym every day. You just got to get out and do something. Whether it's take your dogs for a walk.
A lot of those things overlap, right?
Yeah.
The walk, that's the peace of mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the mental too.
And
But
then
you're walking too. That's
and
also
you're getting
physical
that sun.
exercise.
You're getting that vitamin D.
Right.
You're getting that energy from the sun. Just going outside and doing something. Get out and do something. It's important, So even on the days I don't hit the gym, I'll definitely just try to take my dogs for a nice long walk, go for a hike, the dog park, something like that. But or I'll just do push-ups.
I'm a big believer in you got to break a sweat every day. Yeah, I'm
Get
a big,
the endorphins
even if
going.
it's like not resistance training, like if I'm not hitting the gym. I mean, if you're not going to work, if it's like Sunday and you're not working, sweating, like try to do something to break a sweat.
And it's crazy because the power of the imagination, like manifestation and all that, but the power of the imagination is crazy. I've been watching all kinds of documentaries and reading all kinds of different articles or whatnot on the power of just imagination. And I heard some stuff on Joe Rogan. They touched on it a little bit, but it's crazy. Actually, like in between the ages of from 1 to 6, your development and your brain is so crucial. That imagination stage where you could have like a race in the toy car, but to you it's real. As we get older, that kind of goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But like it plays a big part. Your imagination, just like your thoughts become your words, your words become your actions become your habits become your lifestyle, and therefore determines your character. So even having negative thoughts is crucially bad, you know?
Yeah.
To think positive is to speak positive, and then you act positive, and then you have a positive outcome. So I'm just learning to tap into that mind, body, and soul, where I've been doing push-ups, I've been hitting the gym, but now I'm like, how could I work on my mental health?
Oh, yeah.
And I see how much it goes hand in hand. You know, the body's hurting, you're gonna feel it in the mind. Your mind's hurting, you're gonna feel it in the body. You ever get stressed out and your back's killing you, and it could be stress, you know?
Right. And everything, the brain is the hub. Like, the brain is the hub anyway for all that stuff. Because even if you stub your toe, it sends a message to your brain.
Oh,
right?
instantly.
That says you're in pain. So
Right.
even the physical is really connected to the mental, to the brain at least.
Yeah, and I just watched a crazy article on, you know how people hate being wrong, right? You know, most people, if you could admit it, you know, I hate being wrong. But I watched this documentary, and I was reading this article on how, like, say you stub your toe, and it sends that, you know, signal to the brain right away, like pain, you know? The second you get proven wrong, that same energy, that same signal goes to the brain. So being wrong and pain is one and the same.
It's correlated.
Yeah, it's the same thing that goes to the brain when you're like, you know, I'm in pain. We have that same, whether it's a micro expression or just a brief moment of, you know, man, you know.
Absolutely.
But it shows you how much that thinking could come into play. You know what I mean? I seen this article where they said they had somebody practicing, you know, and it was like, picture yourself playing the piano, but you're not really playing the piano, but actually, you know, imagine that you are. And it showed pieces of the brain, like 50% of the brain were actually connecting them dots to where you were actually really playing.
Wow.
So the power of imagination and self-manifestation is way more powerful than people think. And I think they need to start thinking a lot more about what they think about, because like I said, your thoughts, your words, your actions become your habits and your lifestyle, and it turns you into your character.
Bro, like, so where do you stand on, like, do you have any positive affirmations you tell yourself? You know, because life is messed up, right? So it's not always easy to be positive, right?
Definitely.
What kind of
well, I learned simple tricks.
Affirmations do you got?
Well, even the simple thing of, if you fake a smile long enough, it turns into a real smile. You know, so if you ever find yourself down, you know, you could trick your brain into a lot of things, and one of them things is being positive, and that's what I've been learning. But it's all right to tell yourself, yo, I'm worth it. Yo, I could do this. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be successful. I am powerful. I am strong. It's good to do them things.
Absolutely. It's
good to practice that positive. Believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is gonna.
The thing is too, even if you don't necessarily believe these things you're saying, right? Just if you keep saying them over and over and over, fake it till you make it, right?
The power of the mind,
you'll eventually start to believe it a little. Even your swagger will change about how you say it. Like, I'm that dude. Even if you don't believe it, like, it's written all over your body language. 100%. But then eventually, you're gonna believe it.
100%.
And you're gonna be that dude that you were meant to be. You know what I mean? What about like a visualization process? What's your visual? Do you have a visualization?
Definitely, because again, like, I'll bring it back to a reference of a study I seen. I'll kind of go around it and make it my own. Like, say we take 10 dudes, and we say, listen, we're gonna give all 10 of you a cup of steroids, liquid steroids. 5 of them, you know, they say, we're going to give you water. You 5 are just going to get water. And you 5 are going to have steroids in your water. Now, in reality, they're all just receiving water. But the 5 people who believe that they're on steroids, believe they have the upper hand, believe they have the edge, come out on top. And that's just the placebo effect, if you will. But it's about believing in yourself. So when I do push-ups, I picture myself getting bigger. I picture myself getting stronger. When I work out, I picture just It's important. It plays a big part in building your muscles and building your mind. and building your soul.
Even pharmaceutically, I feel like I saw something somewhere too that said that a lot of it is the actual, because they're taking meds for whatever sickness, so that helps their brain and that helps, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Manifest that process.
And so does yoga, so does meditation, so does boxing. If you go somewhere and whip your own ass and work out till you're hurting or throwing up or sweating, it's not a bad thing. Like I said, I'd rather sweat in peace than bleed in war, you
Right.
know? And I think that's a beautiful term.
I mean, I always feel amazing the next day after a great workout, right? I can't say the same thing for alcohol, right? For when I'm drinking,
Right.
I don't always feel amazing the next day at
Yeah.
all. If anything, it's the complete opposite. But I tell you what, other than the soreness, which I mean is normal, I kind of like it the next day because that's when I know I got a good workout in.
Yep.
So like if I wake up the next day, I wake up in a good mood if I got a good workout in. If I miss the
Definitely.
workout, and especially if it's going on 2 days in a row, I don't feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Depression starts to kick in.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I mean, I've dealt with a lot of depression in my life, man. I was on depression meds at one point.
Yeah.
And that was something I wanted to touch on too. It was like, I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, man. If you're prescribed
But they're
meds,
quick.
take your meds.
They're
but
quick to give you the meds instead of access to other outlets.
Well, I mean, for me, working out is the best medication I ever
Definitely,
got.
and that's where I get at. Like, if I don't work out, I literally have insomnia. I can't sleep at night. But it's like if I didn't do shit all day, if I didn't do nothing all day, and I'm just being lazy, and I'm not tired at night, I don't really have the right to complain. But if I get up, go to the gym, work out until I'm sore, I come home and earn that sleep. I come home and need that sleep. It's like getting a good day of work, you know, at going to your job, going to the gym. You get a good day of workout in, you get a good day of work in. It makes you feel
Sleep
much better, and it makes you feel
Sleep
like
like a baby.
you have a
too, man.
purpose.
Yeah.
You know, you feel good with yourself, and you have to feel okay with yourself. You have to feed the heart and kill the ego. And that's what I'm learning to do now. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of egotistical and, you know, cocky and confident, whatever you want to call it. But now I'm learning to kill the ego. Kill the
Right.
ego and feed the heart, you know?
I like that a lot.
And that's it's a big part. And my big homie helped me learn that. Shout out to J-Dub. He helped me with this whole spiritual journey I'm on. He's a beast. He was like 200 pounds of pure muscle. But when I want to get on that level, he's like, it ain't all about muscle, you know?
Right.
He's teaching me how to eat right, live right, and be all out healthy. And not just work out, you know? But even experimenting with, say, mushrooms or something like that is what helped me kind of open my third eye to opening my third eye to a third eye, you know?
How much experimentation have you done with mushrooms?
I've done enough to have a pretty good outlook on it, you
'Cause
know?
I've only done it a couple times. Fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. It's not for me to do.
Yeah, I've done it much to know what I can do, what I can't do, how much is alright, how much is too much. But everything with class and moderation, you know?
Right.
Anything, too much of anything's no good. So I'll try a little bit of micro dosing, a little bit of that, but it kind of just, you know, lets you just kind of ease up and chill and let everything go. You might cry for an hour, you know what I mean? But it's like taking an emotional dump. After you cry, it's like you got so much off your shoulders, you feel like you just been through a body cleanse or something or a spiritual wash. So, and then you get a nice glow, but I never took enough to trip, just enough to open my mind to the experience, get a nice little glow,
Oh yeah.
appreciate colors, appreciate the water, the wind, open up my mind a little bit,
That's
but
fire.
not too much to trip, you know?
Alright, that's fire.
Class and moderation, class and
Yeah.
moderation.
I mean, going back to like self affirmations, right? And when there's these tough times in life, and when you feel anxiety or even fear to it, not like fear for your life, but maybe you like probably more anxiety, big job interview, something like that, man. One thing I like to do is I like to tell myself, yo, B, in 24 hours or whatever, even if I'm an hour away from the interview, I'm like, in 2 hours, this will all be a memory.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be reflecting on it. It's not
Well, that's
as big
funny
as
that you
make
bring
it
up
out.
time, because most depression and some anxiety usually stems from a place of you either being in the past or the future. You're not in the present. So to calm your anxiety, sometimes all you got to do is be in the moment. Look around, appreciate what's around you. I got my friend with me. I got this drink with me. You know, I got this art around me. And you just take your time to be in the moment. That's why if you see a lot of hippies that walk around in bare feet, grounding and stuff like that, it slows you down and makes you watch where you're going. And that's a perfect analogy, like, you know, to slow down and kind of watch where you're going and watch what you're doing and do it right.
Yeah, because a lot of these fears and stuff like that we have are just stems from like past trauma and past failures
Or
and
future fears of what might happen.
right. And
know?
a lot of them are just totally unrealistic too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
my
all
father told me
made
that
up.
half the
It's
stuff
all
you
made
worry
up.
about probably ain't gonna happen, but
Right.
you worrying about it ain't gonna help it.
Right.
That's for damn sure.
I remember recently I did an interview. It was episode 4 with my guy Price, and the camera had cut off at one point, but that was more towards the end. And then I got home and I'm trying to look at the file and it wasn't reading. And this whole time I'm thinking I'm beating myself up like, damn, I messed. This was such a good interview.
Yep.
I messed up again because there was another one where I forgot to
Yep.
press record on the camera, so I only got audio. And I was really beating myself up about it all weekend. Come to find out, I put the chip in the computer. On the computer it was meant for, and
Right.
it was like a non-issue. But it's
Hey.
like I made this whole thing up in my head.
Yeah.
And then it affected the way I was treating other people too,
Yep.
because then like I'm giving my girl an attitude
Yep,
for no
you gotta
reason.
live
That's
and
like I'm
learn.
projecting stuff.
The butterfly effect is so real, bro. If I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I'll check myself. I'll go sit back down. I'll lay back down. I'll appreciate the fact that I woke up. I'll do a little mini form of meditation, my own kind of little form of meditation, some relaxing music, some relaxing colors, and some good smells. You know, heighten the senses. You put
You know
on like a
what?
waterfall, some relaxing music, some lavender oil, something calming, soothing, so you could smell something
yeah.
good, you could see something good, and you could hear something good. You could control your environment.
I want to touch on that a little.
Vibes.
I want to touch on that a little bit too, because like my not safe place, but like my visualization process. Like like when I'm on the beach, to me it's like spiritual.
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Something like a power so great. Even the ocean is a power way greater than myself.
Of course.
Right? It's way greater than me because you know it was created.
Well, you're
by-
away from the technology, and you're
Away
in
from
tune
all
with
of it.
Mother Nature,
So,
the sand, the
I live
sun,
in the
the
city.
water.
I don't always have that. So
Mhm.
my visualization process sometimes is, especially I'll get the sun coming through my window, right? I'll sit there. Mind you, this is January, bro. So the
Hell
windows
yeah.
are closed, but
Yeah.
the heat's on.
Yep.
I got a hot coffee.
Yep.
I got my shirt off, bro.
Yep.
I'm in the sun. I'm collecting that vitamin D. Drinking
That's what
my
it is.
coffee.
It's
Putting on
important.
ocean sounds on
Soak
YouTube.
in that energy. I do the
Closing
same
my
thing,
eyes
bro.
and
Yep.
thinking, that's my visualization.
I'll put on the
'cause
mist-
That's my ultimate retirement. My ultimate goal is
Yep.
to be like, I made it. When I'm
I'll
sitting
put on
back
the TV. I'll just simply put on a waterfall with relaxing music. I'll put in some lavender oil in my mist diffuser. Light it up. It lights up blue. Pumps out the lavender mist. It smells good. You know what I mean? And I'll put on the relaxing blue colors. And I'll just put myself in a vibe. Whether it's meditation or not, I found a way to calm myself down.
Right.
And it's working. So I'm gonna take advantage of it. I'm gonna explore it. And hey, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm real big on everybody got to have an outlet.
Even incense,
Everybody gotta have an
candles,
outlet, though.
you know, lights, incense, candles, smells, whatever relaxes you, take advantage of it.
Right.
And the outlet is very important, whether you go to the beach, you go to the gym, you go to your job, or like I do, most of the time I just take my dogs for a hike. I walk the dogs. But in any sense, try to go get that sun. Try to get that energy. Try to get that vitamin D from the sun. It's so important just to get outside and
Well, that's why I
expose
even
yourself
get it in
to the
window.
elements.
Like I said, I'll even get it in the window in the middle of. I remember being locked up with an older cat, old school guy, murder while incarcerated. He was so big on, y'all, even if he was the only one, he'll make the CO go out there and get it. He's like, I gotta get my 15-minute head to toe covered. He just keep his face out every day. He makes sure he get his 15 minutes of vitamin D. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
Yep.
it was like non-negotiable. He didn't care if it was like cloudy too. He's like, those photons are still breaking through. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
Especially in there where it's tough to get what we need on the diet.
Exactly,
especially in there.
100%. And it's so important to just throw yourself out there and engage in it. You know, you can sit there and make every excuse in the world, but just to get up and take a walk to the store, that right there, you don't know how much it does for you until you do it.
Mhm.
You know, you got to step out of your comfort zone. I think that's a big part of finding the outlet is to step out of your comfort zone, and you'll conquer a lot of your fears by exposing yourself to them.
Right.
You know, I think that's very important. And I was just watching this thing on Nikola Tesla, and he said something like, if you want to figure out the world or measure the universe, measure it in frequencies, vibrations, and energy. And I found that real fascinating because it correlates with everything we've been talking about,
Right.
you know. And that's Nikola Tesla. He is a genius, you know.
Right, and that's back in the day. And frequency, I've been hearing a lot about frequencies and wavelengths.
And that was back in the day, back
Right.
when he's swearing there's some lost kind of technology we have because we can't duplicate some of the most beautiful, biggest wonders of the world. We can't recreate them.
Right.
How is that? You know,
Right.
it's deep. You know,
Even
it's
just
deep.
nature too. I saw they were trying at MIT trying to recreate like a cheetah or something like that.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just like you're not
They're
as
already-
much as you try, you're not God. Like only God can make something. That's,
Yeah,
like you might
but
get it pretty freaking close.
It's gonna
but they're
end up
still
some
having
sci-fi
trouble.
horror movie.
Well,
but
yeah,
they're
but
already
it's still not
cloning
even
dogs.
the
If
same.
you
You
got
can still
money,
tell.
you could get your dog cloned.
I heard that.
That's crazy.
How do you feel about that?
I love my dog, but I ain't getting them cloned. You know,
Right.
it just anytime I don't know too much information about any subject, I'm wary of it. Like when the COVID hit and the shot and all that, it's like I don't know enough information
Right. And
to make such a huge step.
Right. Put something in your body like that. And
Yeah.
They didn't even know. Like how can you tell? Like how can you tell what something's gonna do to you in 10 years?
Right.
Without taking 10 years and experimenting.
Right. Like even the
You can't
thing
speed up time.
they're letting you know now what they didn't know when our parents were younger, but how harmful smoking is for you. You know, cigars and marijuana and tobacco. But now you got everybody vaping and smoking these oils. We don't know what that is. We don't know what's in that. You don't
Right,
know how
that's
that's
been out
gonna
long
affect
enough,
you.
yeah. Right.
Hey, never mind down the line. We don't know what that's gonna do to us. It's like we're trading one devil for another, one vice for another. You know, I quit smoking, I'm gonna go drink. You know, you gotta find a positive, healthy outlet. So we're gonna stress that you have to find an outlet, but it should
Healthy,
be
yeah,
something
healthy.
healthy
That's
or
the-
something positive, something that's gonna make you feel better and live better.
Big time. Big time. That's like working out for me is my outlet. You know,
Definitely.
some people it's motorcycles, some people
Yeah.
like cars.
Yeah.
You know, some people
Jumping out of planes,
Music, you know what I'm saying?
whatever,
Music is
the
big,
dogs,
too.
whatever it is. But you have to have something where you find, you know, you could be at peace and you could find some adrenaline in it too. Because, like you said, we were talking about that old saying that it's better to be a warrior in a garden.
Oh yeah. Than a gardener in the war. I heard
Yes, sir.
I think Jordan Peterson say that.
Yes, on Joe
and
Rogan.
I'm sure he was quoting some ancient guy or
for
so, you know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And it's all
And there was one
repeated information, you know what I mean, that we all need to tap into because I like that.
definitely.
You know what I mean? I like some of the most dangerous people I know are like big teddy bears, sweethearts. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'd rather be capable, and a lot of times just being capable of violence and the threat of violence can have a big effect. It'll make somebody maybe not shoulder bump you as they would have shoulder bumped some scram looking
Right.
square. I don't know, looking down the street. You know what I mean?
So
And
I
something
was
to be said for being like physically in shape. Look, first of all, just
Right.
even being in shape, even if you have no
yeah.
skills at
It's
all,
be-
no
it's ready-
combat skills,
It's
just
better
that look.
to be prepared for all that. Like toxic masculinity, like, you know, being masculine doesn't make you angry. You could just be strong, secure, and a protector.
Right.
You know, there's levels. Maybe someone's raging and roid raging, and maybe that's toxic. But to be masculine and to be a man is a good thing, and we encourage young boys and men to go to the gym, man up, be a man. We need more soldiers, and that's healthy. That's okay. That's all right.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and not everybody is not, you know, everybody's built for different things too, right? If we trying to become a community, a tribe, different people have different roles.
Yeah.
Not all men.
Oh no, it's a
have
machine.
to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not
You have
all,
your
but you gotta
warriors,
have some
you
sort of
have your
value.
farmers, but you need
Have
to
some
find
value.
your lane.
Yeah.
You need to find your lane. You don't have to be a warrior, or maybe you're a hunter, maybe you're a gatherer, maybe you're a farmer, maybe you're
Big time.
whatever. But we all have parts to play, and the only way this well-oiled machine is gonna run if we all play in significant parts and playing them well.
Right.
That's the only way it's gonna go. But there was this quote earlier from Joe Rogan I wanted to show you. Went something like,
Times create hard men. Hard men create soft men. Is that hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
So it's
We
like
are now
cycle.
around soft men and hard times.
so we're now living in a hard time with soft men, and that makes complete sense to me the way he broke it down. But
Right.
I think it.
Different generations too. You know.
Well,
we got different
that's
generations.
well. Put it
Our
like
parents
this:
coming up.
our fathers, right?
Right.
Some hard dudes, right? To be perfectly honest, I don't know what they're doing to our food, to our water, but our fathers had twice as much testosterone than we do. Our grandfathers had 4 times as much testosterone as we do, and they're saying that the amount of testosterone levels where we're at today is a healthy level. It's not.
Right.
Boys are getting titties.
Yeah.
This ain't okay. You need to man up, hit the gym, do some push-ups.
Yeah.
It's not okay. I don't know what it is, but I know that, you know, our ancestors, like back in them days, you know, our great grandfathers had 4 times as much testosterone running through their bodies, and they were healthy, hard-working men. They'll
Now,
walk
that's
to
what
work,
we talking
work all
about.
day, and walk back.
So I've never been tested for testosterone.
Neither have I.
Where do these numbers come from?
This
is
is
what I'm trying to wonder.
well. First of all,
is it like an average?
First of all, look at the civilization. To me, it's my perspective and common sense. Going further, reading the Nimbus scientifically, doctors, podcasts, articles, documentaries, I looked up on it, and it's straight facts. Anyone watching, reading, or listening could check it out, and you could check it out
Well,
later.
even the eye test. I feel like when I look at kids now, I'm like like high school kids, they look younger than I'm like, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
Some
it's
things-
perspective too,
yeah.
because I'm like, man, I remember when I was in high school, they look like grown ass men, motherfucker.
Yeah.
In there, bro. Dudes was
And-
going to liquor store for.
And we're developing, and we're becoming stronger in some ways, but in some ways we're becoming less. Like they're saying, women are gonna be able to have children without men one day, you know. And they used to be far-fetched, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
but then
that
when
is
you
crazy.
figure out how many animals do it, and the level of testosterone that dropped in us, and the level of independence that went up in a woman, how many women you know that would probably whip a man's ass? It's
yeah.
really unbalanced right now, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But you know, you gotta pick a side and ride. You can't have both, you know.
I could definitely see where you're going with all that, because especially when it comes down to it, like I always bring it back to the physical,
Yep.
which like okay in life, right? Life is a marathon, right? But like your physical appearance is something you could change in 90 days.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to get a bachelor's
Even your
degree
diet,
in 90 days. You're
even
not gonna
your
get a bachelor's
diet
degree.
could have like
It's all connected, yeah.
yeah. I seen
that's your
twins that grew up in different
physical form.
I
like,
see
you
I seen a
got
set
that.
of twins that grew up in different circumstances. One had a healthy looking strong jaw, and the other one was just deformed, and it was all because of diet and nutrition and their upbringing,
Nurture
their
over the
lifestyle.
nature,
You ever
right?
see like in India or China, they're living 100 and something years old.
Yeah.
And they're healthy. It's what they're eating. It's how they're living. It's their lifestyle. It's not just their diet. It's not just their workout regimen. It's they turn it into a lifestyle. And it
nowadays
shows.
It's such a I feel like we live in such a stressful world nowadays too. The pressures.
It is.
On
Even
social media,
even for
every
kids.
move is like monitored by everybody else in your own peer group or your own.
That's why it's so important to once in a while step away from the computers, the TVs, put your phone down, and just have a moment to yourself. Whether you just
social
relax.
media fast. I've done it. I've given
Yeah,
myself
you don't
social
have to.
media
You don't
fast.
have to know how to really meditate. I'll be one to say there's no right or wrong way to meditate. If you could just sit, relax, and concentrate on your breathing, and just find yourself in a peaceful moment, that's meditation to me. You know,
Right.
and it don't take too much. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to go to the gym.
And I
you could just
noticed-
go do a few push-ups. You don't have to be a yoga or mastermind with the chakras. You just need to throw yourself in and be willing to learn. And be willing to admit you don't know everything, and you can learn a whole lot more.
And there's I've been noticing too is the breathing. For some reason, in through the nose a lot more. I'm such
Yep.
a mouth breather, bro. Like,
And
I
that's not
snore-
good.
I know it's not right. My
Yep.
girlfriend like if they're like.
Well, I just kind of
You sound
learned
like you're gonna
about
die
the
when
mouth
you're
breathing
snoring
because
and all
I was
I'm
on
a big mouth breather. I was recording a video of something on TV, and all I heard in the background was.
yeah. But you beast too.
I was
It's
like,
like
what the
this.
fuck?
I
I've been
always
more
was under the
cognitive to-
impression
In through the nose.
in through the nose, out through the mouth.
But it takes practice.
I've been watching even
It's
more
not natural
where
for me. It's not
Right.
natural for like
Exact-
running. I'm like I gotta
exactly.
make a. But they said it could be even a lot more beneficial to people like me, the mouth breathers.
well, there's rich people
By
out
nose
here
breathing.
that are.
Andrew Huberman, man.
There's
that
a
dude had all
fancy.
sorts of,
I call it
podcasts
taping.
on
I
it.
call it taping your mouth shut while you sleep. But the rich people got a
heard that,
fancy way to close their mouth so they train themselves to only breathe purely through the nose, in and out. Because I was under the
die.
impression where you
I would die.
inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. But
Right.
I was watching someone, Goggins or someone
And he's
that
saying
was
all
beast,
in
and they
and
just
out on the nose.
yeah, double inhale,
Okay, yeah.
and then you want to exhale. But if you could purely just inhale and exhale through the nose, or like say while you're jogging, stuff like that, it makes a big difference, you know.
Wow.
And I don't believe everything I read or see, but I try to listen to it all and take bits and pieces and learn as I go, you know.
Yeah, big time. There's a big what was I gonna say? Oh man, there's a big thing about like we were touching on the in through the nose.
Yep.
Out. I always thought it was out through the mouth. See, that's
And there
what-
is.
But the
There'll
thing is,
be
breathing is one of those things where it's like we do it subconsciously, but we can like breathing, blinking. We can control it though as well. We can't control.
we suffocate
we can't
ourselves.
control our blood, pump it. You know what I mean?
99% of the people out there, including us, including the viewers, we don't breathe right. We don't breathe enough. We just do the bare minimum, like most in life.
We're not super.
But if you want to see how you're really supposed to breathe, go jump in a cold bucket of ice water. Go
Right.
take a cold shower and see how fast you get that deep inhale. That's how you should be breathing. So to learn that and to control that, I've been slowly taking these cold showers.
the years of
In the years of smoking,
too. You know what I mean?
crucial,
Smoking
crucial. I'm
cigarettes,
still
weed.
coughing up lungies to this day from blunts from the past, and you know, but nothing happens in a day. You have to really be consistent, and you have to dive all the way in and be devoted to change,
Big time.
or it ain't coming.
Big time. It's all about discipline.
Definitely,
Discipline is big for me.
consistency and
I'm not the
discipline.
most disciplined person, but I need discipline to go to the, wake up, go to work every day, go to gym. Discipline to not physically put my hands on somebody
Yep.
when they get me angry, right? Anger management.
Yep.
I mean, you kind of always, you a little wild, man. What kind of things are you doing to manage your anger nowadays, bro?
So honestly, that's
'Cause you've been known to snap.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So that's where this whole thing comes from, bro. I realized I had a problem with anger. In the past, it was just like, yo, this is normal. This is how we get
You ever
down.
do any court mandated anger management?
100%.
Me too.
Court ordered anger
22
management, court ordered therapy, counseling, all that. And I was like, this is some bull, right? But to be completely honest, at first I just did it for a piece of paper for court. To be honest with you. This is what I need to get out of trouble. This is what I'm going to do.
You won't get as much out of it. You may still get a couple things out of it though.
Right,
That way.
but
you may get nothing out of it
until
that
you accept it and give it a genuine shot, you won't see the benefits. So my original, let's say, intentions for getting involved with the therapy might have not been pure, but what came from it was pure. I went in there like, man, this is what I got to do to make this happen and get this signed, right? But then I actually talked to somebody, I actually listened, perspective. I came at it from a different perspective. I said, this is actually helpful. So I followed up. Once I got it thrown out, I had a completely different mindset. I thought, once I get this, I'm all set. No, now I voluntarily want to work on myself because I know it ain't just it ain't just all talk. There's benefits to this. You know, if you could be man enough to say, hey man, I gotta hit the gym. You could be man enough to say, hey, I gotta go talk to somebody. You know, especially growing up how we grew up, holding all that shit in. I thought it didn't affect me. Nobody in my neighborhood got a father. None of us got this. Everybody's poor. Nah, it ain't normal. It was just normal to us.
Yeah, and you don't realize until later, and I think I more started to realize like more like, okay, in high school, you know, elementary school to a degree.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that it wasn't normal that my dad was in prison
Right.
until he got out. And then it was like, oh, this is what I was supposed to been had.
Right,
because
right.
me and my dad are good. Like that's my
It's
boy
weird, bro.
now.
I would be in the neighborhood,
You know?
and everybody would come up to me telling me how good people's my father is, how solid my father is,
Right.
how much of a good dude he is, how much of a badass he is. And I'm like, bro, I got 9 brothers and sisters. We're in the project starving. Don't tell me nothing about him. All I know is he ain't here.
Yeah.
And it took years and years of work, development, and perspective for me to look at it from a different angle till I had my own kids, caught my own charges, been through my own stuff to see that stuff happens. And it's going to happen. You're going to fall, but it's how you get up, what you do about it.
Yeah, that's big.
It's the bounce back.
Because the real, you know, the real, oh, he's solid, the real, he's a gangster is, you know, if he was out there and was, you know what I mean, provided for y'all. He wasn't, but then again, nobody's perfect. And the way I always look at it is like, okay, my parents were teenagers.
Right.
Teenagers. In like right when the crack era
Some
started.
Wild West
in the
days,
middle,
bro.
in the mid
Yeah.
'80s, right when the crack era started, like Walpole
This is when
was
people
jumping
weren't
in.
ratting, weren't telling. They were leaving their back
Oh, it
door
was-
open for you to run through. It was no cameras, no bullshit. It was good times.
So that, but you don't realize that until you start to go through it,
Yep.
and then you start to lose people, and then you realize like,
Perspective.
yeah, perspective, and I want to touch on perspective a little more too, because when I do have those bad days, you know what puts things in perspective? That you have a collect call, right? When my brother calls from the pen, that puts it in perspective. If he don't call,
Hell yeah.
sometimes I just gotta put it into perspective. Man, I'm nervous about this job interview or this interview I'm doing with somebody that I don't really know or whatever, and I'm like, I gotta put it into perspective and be like, on my best day in there, I'd have did some things, some dangerous things to people
Yeah.
maybe that didn't deserve
yeah,
it.
we're lucky to
you
be
know what
here.
I mean? I might have gave a pinky for like a free month home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the type of that desperation.
What goes through
that
your mind,
It's
yeah.
quick to forget
It's
that.
animalistic.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Perspective is crazy, and a lot of people hear it, and it's like
It's easy to say after the fact, like it wasn't so bad, but it's
Yeah.
tough to really perspective.
when you're
and put
there
yourself
saying
back
this
there.
ain't that bad, you ain't gonna hear that really come out of
No,
somebody's
not while
mouth.
you're
You
there,
might heard
especially when
that
you're back.
wasn't that bad.
Especially when it's like I've
But
done this
perspective
before,
is
bro.
like this. You might think, all right, yeah, people perspective. No, we all come from different places, different worlds, different backgrounds, right? And for a long time, I was guilty of seeing the world through my eyes. I expected everybody to see and feel how I did.
Like the whole, like Malden Mass was the center.
Like
of,
ride
was
with
the
me.
center of the
Yo.
world,
My
right?
enemy is your
Yeah,
enemy.
yeah,
If I don't fuck with him, you don't fuck with him. You know, it was very black and white. There was
Right.
no area of gray. And then I realized
That's not the
perspective.
world. Yeah.
Perspective is so important to the fact that picture yourself with 3D glasses. You can't just see things from one angle. You need to see it from both angles. I can't. If me and you are doing something, I can't just look at it from my angle. I gotta look at it from your angle and my angle. And the perfect analogy for that is if you get on them 3D glasses, right?
Yep.
And you cover that blue, you're only seeing out of that red. It ain't nothing but blur. You're in
Oh,
2D.
shit. I never even knew
Then you
that.
cover that red, you're looking at the blue, it ain't nothing but 2D. You're seeing through one lens. You're trying to see the world through one lens. Then you open that up and you look from two different perspectives and you see everything through 3D.
Well-
So you can't be ignorant and block off a certain perspective when it could be enlightening. You know.
Wow. Like you said that about the colors. Like, okay, I didn't even know that really about the colors. But even if you just block one eye out, right, and it did in blocking, you have like a blind spot that you can't
Right.
see until they're both
Right, your
open.
peripherals.
You
That's
know what I
another
mean?
perfect
Yeah.
example. Mine was just
You
an
look at-
example from the
Yeah,
blue,
no, I
red, and
like
the red
that, though.
lens.
Yeah, I like
and
that
that's
example.
that's a perfect example. But perspective is crazy, and it took me to reach
But we
my
got five
third.
senses too. It's not all only about seeing, right?
Right.
Listen too.
You're hearing,
feel,
you're
touch.
smelling, you're
It's all
touching.
comes into one.
It's all one. Just like with mind, body, and soul, all your senses are one. And
So okay, now touch. Okay, mind. Okay, now my mind, to keep the mind sharp and stuff like that. Reading, right? Reading is
Reading,
Well,
definitely.
I didn't realize until
Puzzles,
how
tests,
much I missed reading
quizzes,
until I had
games.
my boy, all that stuff. But I didn't realize how much I missed reading until I had my boy John Kenny come on, who been to the feds. He wrote his own book, and
Right.
and I read his book, and I was like,
Yep.
man, I kind of miss I kind of miss reading. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it just keeping the mind sharp, right? Because a lot of times you'll be talking to somebody, even doing this, like we're talking, and then you have that word, it's on the tip of your tongue. But when you're reading,
right.
it's not on the tip of your tongue. It's like
It
probably,
just-
it's
oh,
fresher.
it
Yeah,
slides,
flows
yeah.
smooth. And I noticed even you talk differently when you're reading, right? And someone
Yep.
who's well read,
Yeah,
obviously.
you articulate yourself very
Yes.
much different.
So we got that. We got the reading, intellectual knowledge. I love learning, bro. I'm taking a nutrition course.
The nutrition really fascinates me.
Yeah,
and
I just started it.
'cause I'm trying to gain my
so
weight.
it's broken up. The way it's broken up into is, it starts. It gives a basic little rundown of on the cellular level, right? The membranes, the mitochondria, everything down to the cell DNA, and then it starts to go from the macros, right? Protein, fats, carbs, vitamins. I'm just on the vitamins thing
Yeah.
right now. I'm about not even halfway
Yeah.
through the book. I actually went through the book. I was doing it online. But it's like I'm old school, man. Like
Yeah.
that, looking at that light,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gives me a headache. I'm
Yeah.
like, so I
And
went
even-
and ordered the hold on 1 second though. I went and ordered the physical
Yeah,
book
there
and
you
went
go.
and started all over again.
Yep.
Highlighting, right? Because
Yep.
I would rewrite the whole thing. Pretty much, I would rewrite. I'm just like, I don't know if
I'm a
slow
hands-on
bro.
learner,
I
yeah.
rewrite the whole thing in my own words
No.
and then highlight my own
Yep.
words and then reread it again.
Well, as you
I don't
write it
retain
and read it, every time you write something down, there's more likely chance for you to remember it and use it.
retain it.
Even your goals. If you write your goals down on a piece of paper, you're probably 60% more likely to obtain them
Right.
than if you don't
And
write
that's
them
something
down.
I've been hearing for years too. And still,
And it's important. And like I said, to touch back on the colors and the vibes, like I did that example where you give 5 dudes water and you give 5 dudes steroids. And at the end, the 5 dudes on steroids win, but you say, yo, we've been giving all you water
Right.
the whole time. We just been telling you. So the people that are thinking, I'm not getting the steroids, they're kind of beating themselves down.
before they even,
They're not giving themselves a chance. They already counting
Lost.
themselves
Yeah,
out
yeah.
as the underdog.
Right.
And the people believing they are already believing they have the upper advantage, give themselves the upper advantage.
Hell yeah.
You
I
know?
want to touch back on, okay, so the mind, body, and soul, like I was saying too, with the reading, the knowledge, right? That's the mind.
Very
the physical,
important to
the
keep it
working
sharp.
out. So me, I'm at the point where it's like, I want to get right with my soul, right? And I feel
Mm.
like doing stuff like this helps. Giving back, helping kids. I got some couple kids that I do like boxing mitt work
Hell yeah.
at the Y. Like that to me, that's good for my soul. But also soul, like I'm not a big religious person.
Right.
Right.
But spiritual.
But spiritual.
And even them gym classes, something little like that, where you have pure intentions, that's how the UFC started. Just Dana White and a few people giving gym boxing classes in Boston. It snowballed into some training. It snowballed into, Kevin Weeks and Whitey and them giving him a
Right.
visit, and he ran to Las Vegas. But the point is, it's like,
Dana White, yeah,
you
I
know,
heard about that.
it manifests. But even certain colors, like if I took them same 10 dudes where I said half of them were on water, half of them were on steroids, but all of them were on water. But the ones that thought they were on steroids had the advantage. It's the same thing with colors. If you're looking to relax, you want to avoid certain colors. Like, say red,
Right.
It
Anger,
might make
right.
you an anger or power
Danger.
or fire or blood.
Danger, right?
Or
Stop,
blood,
red.
danger,
You
stop,
stop,
red,
stop,
bloody,
yeah,
hell,
yeah.
fire, all negative.
Alertness,
All
right, yeah,
negative,
yeah.
alert, negative, right?
Right.
But something like blue, that's common, like the water, the sky.
But it all has a place too, because
It all has a place. You might
know when you're
now
in
now
danger.
if you're about to play football or a competition sport, and you got red jerseys and blue jerseys, 5-on-5, then people with the red are gonna do better because they're gonna be. It depends what state you want to get into. So certain music and certain colors are great right before the gym if you're looking to get beast. But you're not gonna have that in real life when it comes to turning into a beast. So I work out with no music, no distractions, no nothing, because I ain't gonna have a a title song to get me amped up in a real life situation. It's just gonna pop off.
Right.
So I try to avoid music, avoid anything, and just try to naturally learn how to turn into the Hulk on
Yeah.
cue. You know,
Big time. I gotta get better with that. Not needing music, because if I don't get the music, I'll kind of.
it's not that you need it; you just like to use it,
Yeah,
and then
but
it turns into. It
But
does
it could
motivate
be a
you.
crutch,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
I don't need no crutch. I think I
Right.
need it. I don't. It's just something to make me more comfortable. But like you said, that's being comfortable.
Yeah.
Being comfortable don't get nobody nothing.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
being content is dangerous. Being comfortable, nothing grows in comfort. Nothing grows in being content. You gotta
Right.
want more. You gotta strive for more. You gotta be hungry. You gotta stay hungry. That's why you notice some people start
It
to
gotta,
eat.
it gotta rain for the plants to grow, right?
Right,
You know what I
and
mean?
for you to
They don't-
enjoy the sun. So it's
Right.
like
If it's yeah, big time.
yin and the yang. You know,
Word.
it comes hand in hand, but they're both very important for you to acknowledge, accept. Acceptance is a big part of my journey. You know,
Acceptance, yeah.
acceptance.
That's like
and-
that's step one in AA, right? Is admitting
Yeah.
you're an alcoholic. So
Right.
I can see why
coming to terms, but just
acceptance-
once you accept something, and it's like, then you can move forward. But you can't move forward with anything until you accept what's currently going on, and you ain't gonna change nothing unless you
That's-
accept what's really going
That's
on.
why I always say, like, it is what it is. What's next?
Right.
What
right.
next? It
What's
is-
next?
it
And that's
is-
the important part. It is what it is.
What's next?
What's next?
Sure, dissect the situation.
Definitely.
Learn from the situation. See where you went wrong, but never dwell.
Never dwell.
Never
Never
let
dwell.
it affect. Never let yesterday affect today's efficiency. You know what I mean?
There's no amount of fear that's gonna change the future. There's no amount
I
of
wanna touch
anxiety
on one
that's gonna
more-
change
I
the
wanna-
past.
I want to touch on one more thing too about like the mental and all that stuff. Is you're a music guy, man. Like I know for me back in the day, it was like, man, I was going through some things, and I don't even know if I knew I was going through things, but just life was life, and it kind of was like,
Yep.
yo, why my mom got to be a drug addict? Why my
Yep.
dad got to be in jail?
Yep,
You know what I'm
it's the same.
saying? What the hell? I don't got no older brothers. I got to go out and make the name for my.
I grew up
for
in the
my
same
family,
exact
but
environment.
music- man, the music is really what. When I was younger, music got me through a lot. Bro.
But I'm in the same situation. I came from the same kind of household, and I got right into music, and I would be angry, negative music, rah rah, gangster shit. But it was what I was feeling. It was what I was going through. It was what I was witnessing and seeing. But now that I'm older, and it took me a long time to really. The next time I put out some music, I wanted to lead people in the right direction. I wanted to be upbeat. I wanted to be positive. I used to love 808s and some bass.
that's so
but now
funny.
I'm studying frequencies, and a lot of them songs are purposely on low vibrations. It's all evil. You want some high
Manipulation.
uplifting, high vibrations. You ever go all the way back to like ancient Africa where it's all nice,
Yeah, right.
high frequency
You don't even
drum
know what they're
beats.
saying, but you feel
But
good.
yeah, it's
Or whatever.
uplifting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
spiritual. It brings everybody together like a chant. The power of positivity, I can't stress it enough.
Big time, bro. Man, I think we touched on a lot today, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we gonna do this. We gonna do this. At least a couple times a month. This is the Scandalous podcast. I'm B. Luke.
Ronnie Blue Eyes.
Till
Salute.
next time, stay free.